Okay guys, now we're gonna go to the forehand volley. We already talked about the backhand volley and all the key points. Now we're gonna do the same thing on the forehand. There's very similar things, to be honest. Okay, for example, the first thing that is exactly the same is the grip. Okay, we talk about the continental grip for the backhand, and we're gonna do exactly the same on the forehand. Always with the continental grip for both of the shots. Also very important on the forehand volley will be locking our wrist. Okay, on the backhand side we lock it this way. On the forehand side, and this is key guys, so please pay attention because not many players are doing this. So you're gonna lock your wrist this way. So as soon as you see the ball come in to your forehand volley, you're gonna lock your wrist this way. Please pay attention to this part, okay? Always the racket 45 degrees, okay? The string's a little open, but you're gonna lock your wrist here. It doesn't matter how hard the ball comes, I will just lock this ball here. I'm gonna block it here, and I'm gonna have my wrist firm. So this is a very specific drill to work on the forehand volley. Okay, we're gonna have the arm a little bent. Remember, strings a little open. All right, head of the racket, locking your wrist here. Contact point should happen here, close to the body, and then I'm gonna extend and accompany the shot and the ball forward. Okay. The reason I'm using the net here is because it won't allow me to, for example, do this or to do this. Okay, that's why, and the reason I use, and I really like this specific drill for the shot on the volley, will create a very good muscle memory here on your wrist to make sure that when you start hitting the ball, your arm knows exactly what he needs to do. This is a very specific drill to work on the contact point. Talk about locking the wrist here and contact point here. We don't want to be too much in front of the body, reaching, okay, when there's no power here. We're going to be a little more closer to our body, contact the ball here, and then extending. So very simple. You don't need to hit anything, just freeze your racket on the contact point. Remember always, guys, strings are a little open, facing the sky, diagonal, and just working on the contact point. Again, this is a very specific drill for the contact point and the muscle memory. On the forehand side, let's pay attention also to the right hand or non-dominant arm. It's basically the same. We're going to turn here. Remember, we're going to lock the wrist up here. We're turning. We're going to contact the ball here. Pay attention to this arm, and this one stays. Okay, I'm not going to be, a very typical mistake is people doing this. It's the same concept I just explained on the backhand. Okay, so we're going to be here, rotating the shoulders, racket always in front, locking the wrist, strings facing up, and attacking the ball, and look at my non-dominant arm, and then I'm gonna get ready to recover. I'm gonna do a few shadows, just forehand and backhand. I want you guys paying attention to my non-dominant arm. So I'm here, this is the ready position, by the way, always a little to the left, okay? And I'm gonna go here. You will see Roger Federer doing this exact thing every single time, or a very good one-handers doing this on the backhand from the baseline or the slice. And this is exactly the same thing here. 1, 2. So guys, for the preparation, we want to have the racket at 45 degrees, strings a little open. Remember that racket at the same height of the head. Okay, and if the ball comes a little lower, I'm just gonna try to bend my knees a little more, but always trying to have the racket as close to my head as possible. Comes middle height, I'm gonna be here. Comes a little higher, I'm gonna go up a little bit. So now I'm gonna do a very specific exercise for the lower volley. Next one will be a mid-high volley. It's gonna come here, okay? So the only thing I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna turn my shoulders and go forward. Take my shoulders and accompany the ball with my forearm. Remember, my wrist is locked here. I'm not doing anything. If you see this, I'm just going through the ball. Simple as that. Okay. On a higher ball, we're gonna try to take the racket a little higher to be able to attack it more. Okay, we're gonna have a little extra time, so it's probably okay to go a little wider and longer with our swing on this one, okay? So I'm gonna be here, the ball comes high, and I'm gonna attack it a little bit more. Attack it always with my wrist lock, racket 45 degrees, attacking the ball, bending, and then attacking. Bending, loading, attacking.